I joined the design sprint because I kind of wanted to challenge myself and really use my design abilities, something out of my typical field of study.
I'm really passionate about sustainability, and I find that I don't often get to kind of branch out and meet with other faculties, especially the design faculty, because it is on a different campus. So it's a really good opportunity to kind of meet more people and kind of just participate in something a little bit extra and beyond the normal curriculum.
One of the main reasons was to educate myself about circular economy and then working along with like-minded people from different disciplinaries. Yeah.
So we're here for the 2023 Innovation Hub Design Sprint, and this year we're focusing on the circular economy. So over 2 days, students from the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture and the Faculty of Science are coming together in brand new teams to first of all learn about circular economy principles with a brand new training program, and then move into a one-day design sprint where they come up with some solutions that are circular for UNSW, and then finally they pitch those ideas at a pitch night for prize money.
Circular economy is really looking to resolve a lot of the negative challenges that we see in the world today, and is really designed to look to create a net positive impact in the world, to better harness and utilise natural resources, and to create better social dynamics in the world. So regenerating nature, eliminating waste and pollution, and really looking at ways that we can work together to prolong the life of the materials and the resources that we use every day in the world around us. I think it's really important for students to understand the influence and power they can have in the working world, but also in their everyday lives now. There's a lot of waste around us, and there's a lot of ways in which we can create better working relationships and ways that we can work together. So we really want to inspire that thinking and to create these mindsets that people can tap into to create opportunities where we've identified problems in the world.
So the idea for this event came from the fact that circular economy principles are taught throughout the curriculum in the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture and the Faculty of Science. But we wanted to give students an opportunity to extend that knowledge and immerse themselves in a full-day training workshop alongside like-minded students so that they could instantly test what they'd learned in real-world interdisciplinary teams.
We are 6 together in the team, and I just met some of them this morning. I feel really good being in this team because we feel that many people in the team trying to contribute. They bring in new ideas, and it's a good synergy working in a group.
Can't wait to get started. I've got so many ideas just buzzing in my head that I want to I want to present so many ideas, but I'm trying to find the right one with my team that and we can all expand and develop further. We're trying to link into that one right now, but yeah, it's really good so far.
Coming into the sprint, I had kind of a fixed idea of what I wanted to do and focus on. So I was really interested in tackling the problem of waste, because from the pre-work I really liked the quote, "There's no such thing as waste, only wasted opportunities." But after speaking to my team and learning everything, I found that social impact and social change is more significant and can actually follow on and cause a lot of different positive repercussions.
So probably one of the biggest takeaways would be that everyone can be a designer no matter your degree, and that we can all work together and utilise sustainable economy principles and circular design to be able to help create a more sustainable world for the future.
As somebody who's associated with the creative field, I always wanted it to have a practical implication, so kind of bring change, and that's what I'm here for. So I wanted to, kind of collaborate with other people and really think of solutions. So that's why I'm here.
So across the circular economy training and the sprint, we're really hoping that students gain some new knowledge that they can take back into their disciplines. But more than this, we're hoping that the teams come up with some really interesting and feasible ideas that could be possibly implemented across UNSW. I think the nicest thing for me to see today was how quickly our students from science and arts, design and architecture really meshed together, and how instantly they started to value each other's feedback, critique and knowledge. And seeing that collaboration and that interdisciplinary dialogue has been really rewarding.
For pitch night tomorrow, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the teams are looking to really engage people and shift these behaviours and really tap into these values and tendencies that we've built up over time, and what systems we can build around that to sustain those behaviours over the long term.
I'm currently drawing an anaerobic digester, a big food churning system. We want to tackle organic waste, and I guess bringing that to be very visible on campus so that we know like what is actually going on with our waste. So we want clear bins that we can see what's happening, and then from those bins you can see that the compost is actually going into the aerobic digester, and then from that it will produce biogas which will fuel the barbecues for the social barbecues.
So we are doing a sustainability rooftop garden, and I'm just doing a very basic rapid sketch of a prototype.
We're re-ink, which is basically soda stream for ink in your pens. So basically, as you use a pen, it runs out. Once you've done, you can replace the ink cartridge, but that old ink cartridge you have to throw out to landfill. So what we're doing is we're closing that circle and letting manufacturers get that old ink cartridge back, refill it so they can reuse it and give it back to people who use the pen. So we're initially aiming at UNSW, but it's a very scalable idea.
Tonight we're going to talk about buttons, and I hope you guys gonna enjoy that, and we're just going to discuss about how we can solve major environmental problems with just one tiny button.
Yesterday I actually came in with a torn jacket. I didn't realize it was torn until I got there, and that got us thinking as well, is that the end of this jacket's life? Or could we instead repair it? Could we instead extend its life? And that brought us to this idea of repair workshops on campus.
So we're halfway through day 2, which puts us 3/4 of the way through the design sprint. The teams have really meshed at this point. It's fantastic to see. So far the quality of ideas is really good, and you can definitely see the impact of mixing students from arts design and architecture and science, because the ideas have a real feasibility to them that comes from that mix of disciplines. So we've got ideas about spaces across UNSW, we've got a lot of ideas looking at creative uses for waste, and we've got some ideas for activating the community, which is really exciting.
At this point, I'm really impressed with the depth of thinking around all the solutions that the students have been coming up with. It's really thorough. They're really looking at the ways that we can eliminate waste from the get-go, but there's also a really strong focus on collaboration and getting people working stronger together. And I think seeing things from a different perspective or allowing ourselves to think of problems from a different angle is really, really key to ensuring that we haven't missed an opportunity, and we can really get those expertise working together to tackle these problems.
Tonight's pitch night is one of the most enjoyable and exciting parts of the design sprint, because we get to see the students bring their ideas to life and test their pitching skills. Tonight we will see 12 teams pitch. They have a very tight 3-minute timeline per team, and they'll all get one question from one judge. The judges will then go away and deliberate and work out who they'd like to award prizes to, and there will be a first prize, second prize, third prize, and finally a People's Choice Prize.
I'm so excited to see everyone's ideas. We've all worked so hard over the last couple of days. It'll be amazing to see what everyone's come up with.
I look forward to hearing what everybody has done, because it's been really exciting, and I know everybody's excited too, so I want to hear all those ideas. My daughters are coming over as well. They want to hear all these. They're really enthusiastic about recycling and reuse and the circular economy. So I wanted to hear them out so that, just kind of sowing those seeds for future. Let's see.
So I think a really, really strong pitch tonight is going to really be looking at the feasibility of these ideas. We know that there's a huge amount of barriers when we're transitioning from a linear to a circular world. So we really want to see what the tangible opportunities are to really engage with the people that are going to participate in these solutions, but also ensure that they've identified these barriers and maybe anticipated ways that we can mitigate and overcome those, so we can really realise all these great opportunities that we can create from an environmental, social and an economic perspective. So there's a lot to build in, but I'm confident that we'll see a lot of rich insights.
whole collective that we saw tonight, all these entries, absolutely mind-boggling. It's not something I had ever expected, that I'd be sitting in this judging situation and going, oh my gosh, they're all so good. So I guess that's really important. It is a reflection of how students, here are really so forward-thinking and thinking about how we're going to actually collaborate and work together to address some of these complex challenges.
Everything about ADA is about solving problems, about using our creativity, collaboration and inclusion to solve problems to improve life on Earth. So what better way to do that than through a design sprint about the circular economy? And it gives our students such a great experience, a way to develop their skills, to work together collaboratively with other students and come up with a really concrete solution. That's exactly the kind of experience we want our students to have and exactly the kind of skills that our students are developing.
After winning first place, I feel kind of in a dreamlike state. I was not expecting it, but also super excited. Our idea was around kind of a circular economy, sharing, reusing, redistributing student waste that happens when new students move into their accommodation.
I was not expecting it at all. Like we tried really hard to put something together in a very short period of time. Like a lot of new people, new faces, everyone from different faculties. You don't really expect to come up with something really great, but then it was very interesting to see how we all learned and grew like over the past 2 days. And as a People's Choice Award winner, I believe that a lot of people resonated with our idea because our idea was basically to provide students with cheaper clothing and provide a circular way of fast fashion, like going against fast fashion actually.
Our idea was to target the problem of fast fashion industry, and it was just simple idea to teach the people how to actually repair their clothes so that they can reuse it, because a lot of times it happens that our clothes are just get some problem with the clothing and they're just lying in the cupboard unused. So that amounts a lot of waste in the industry, and that's why we think that learning a small skill of like sewing your button or stuff like that, it can actually save tons of clothing and being reused in the market.
I was the kind of person who was not thinking a lot about sustainability and circular economy because I was like heavily invested into tech. But it was an eye-opener to see that how much manufacturing and goods that we produce goes to waste, and we really need to think about it. And even a small step can make a big difference. So I learned a lot.
So tonight we've seen some really great pitching from the students, which is amazing after such a short amount of time. I think what was so successful about bringing specifically students from the Faculty of Science and the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture together is that it's very different ways of thinking, but we need both ways of thinking, and we need those people to be in teams together to solve the wicked problems that the world is facing. And so this gave the students a real taste of the type of teams that they'll be in industry to solve the really complex issues of our time, and it taught them how to work in diverse and inclusive and collaborative ways.